Where?
In Road Trade.
I have no idea. Yeah, let's start the presentation.
We'll do the timer.
Yeah. let's go.
Timer starts.
No.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I am Chris Cleo. Here with me today is Mr. Bhargav Dutta and Diamond Duffy. We invite you to listen to us as we present to you the security master plan of our company, Cyber Sentinel Incorporated. So the company is a mid-sized software company that develops software, hardware, and seismic data services mainly for the oil and gas industry. We have developed a security master plan as a guide to safeguard all the critical information assets as well as business processes that are happening internally and externally that of course have their corresponding security threats. Speaking of these threats, we have categorized it into four landscapes, namely self-foreign systems such as attached VMs or data interception that may happen. We have DDoS attacks possibilities, as well as malwares in the current devices. For the physical infrastructure, there are unmonitored access to IT areas in the existing business situation, such as other issues like power outages, overheating, theft, and even rogue access points in the building. Human threats are also identified, such as insider threats for cyber hacking of employees. We have engineering, social engineering, and phishing, as we all are familiar about, and delayed patch management, just to mention a few among these. So for processes and procedures, there are also a standardized process such as offboarding and onboarding, the lack of training for the employees, the lack of change control in the research and development department, as well as infrequent privilege audits for the entire business operations. Moving on to the risk assessment of all these identified threats, we have Mr. Damon to blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. We'll just count it, I guess. And then
Single box.
yeah.
Maybe I can say.
Yeah.
We got ID system component, we got the people, which have system admin, third-party vendors management, and we have the procedures, which have the digital access management, password policies, and then we got the data, which is PII, research and development, prototypes, internal business data, and we got software, which is such as the VM, business applications, and hardware. We got endpoint servers and security hardware. In terms of in terms of networking, we got LAN and VPN. Next. Yeah. So here we got the WFA, which is the information asset, such as PII, RD prototype, network, and we have calculated the impact on the revenue, profitability, and its impact on the public image, and the weight score out of 100. Now, this is part. Now here we got the top risk driving mitigation. So this is the TVA matrix, which is all the risks that are there. For instance, we got the threat and we got the people here. So this is the threat unpatched virtual VM. So the rating is 3, and for the data is 4, and for the software is 5. Blah 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 blah. Change it. Now let's talk about the risk controls and mitigation. So we got the technical controls, which is the regular patch management, DDoS protection. We got SSL, TLS, VPN, and there is IDS, IPS, antivirus, and SIM, which is security, information, and event management. Now in terms of the physical control for the risk, we got biometric access, we got CCTV monitoring, we got backup using the UPS, and moreover in terms of the people, we got security awareness training, we got phishing simulator, which should be done every month. Moreover, we can get the insider threat monitoring. We have RBAC, which is role-based access control. We can also implement policies such as DAC, which is a discretionary access control. Moreover, we have multi-factor authentication, which has some layers of security while a user tries to access the system. Moreover, we have process controls, which is onboarding and offboarding management. We have the IR plan, which is the incident response plan. Moreover, there are security audits and backup and recovery testing, and the vendor risk assessment, the third-party vendor that supply the software to the organization. Next slide, please.
You can slow down more. You have more time.
Now, in terms of the risk treatment options, for the technical part, we have IDS, IPS, we got DDoS protection, patch, encryption, and decommission legacy system. For this part, our best practice for risk management is the risk mitigation only. And for this part, for the decommission legacy system, we can simply avoid the risk. And for DDoS, we can also transfer the risk, because there are some organizations which can manage the DDoS protection if the company is suffering from any DDoS attack. Now, in terms of the physical infrastructure, we got biometric access control, CCTV, UPS, and backup generator, and remove unused physical assets. So for this part, we have to, the only solution that we have is the risk mitigation. And in terms of the remove unused physical assets, so the assets that are are not in use in organization should be like avoided, because all system can be vulnerable and can compromise the data of the organization. Now, in terms of another threat, which is people. So people should be trained. They should be provided phishing simulator training. Moreover, there should be role-based access control, and there should be background check of the person. So these are all parts of the risk mitigation. So this can't be accepted, or this can't be avoided or transferred. At last but not the least, the processes. In terms of process, we got the IR plan, we got the vendor risk assessment, and we have accept minor non-critical risks. So for that, we can simply accept the risk for the minor non-critical risk, and for the remaining to IR plan and vendor risk assessment, we have to mitigate the risk, because we can't accept or avoid or transfer it to the third party. For the vendor risk, we can also transfer it to the third party. Next slide, please.
Okay. So, taking into consideration the assets we have identified, we have also developed a cost-benefit analysis. Here in front of you is an example for all the hardware-based assets of Cyber Sentinel Incorporated. So, to put it simply, the positive CBA basically means a good investment decision. If we are to take the example of biometric scanners, the value of the asset is at $100,000, and its exposure factor, which basically means its likelihood for a single incident to happen, is at 0.5 or 50%. So multiplying these two values together, we have the 50,000 values for SLE, or the single less expectancy something. So given a 15% ARO, or the likelihood of the occurrence to happen every 1 year, the pre-controlled value is at 7,500. If you multiply the same values all together, then finally, after implementing the safeguards that we have mentioned earlier, such as Mr. Barkov discussed, this has dropped into a 2,500 and showing a 4,000 annual cost for safeguarding. Altogether, this gives us the net CBA score of 1,000, which is, you can say, modest, but it shows that the investment still results in positive benefit by reducing the exposure of risks of said asset. Other high-value assets such as servers and laptops showed even stronger returns at $76,000 and $34,000, which indicates the controls are cost-effective all across the board. And of course, as the final consideration of our security master plan, we have taken into consideration compliance and legal obligations of the Australian Commonwealth. So we have the Privacy Act of 1988 and Copyright Act 1968, to mention a few. We have also integrated the security frameworks and standards of PSPF, or Protective Security Policy Framework, for blah 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 blah, as well as ACSC Essential Aid from the same country of Australia. Finally, as a global and sector-specific compliance, we have the GDPR, or DIS, from Europe, PCI DSS for financial data transactions, as well as NESA from the country of United Arab Emirates. This was included for such operations that the Cyber Sentinel may operate on. Finally, that has been our security master plan. Thank you very much.
Namaste.
It's still 8 minutes actually.